Facebook family. Hey, Facebook family, this is Al Laws with Advice for Life and my beautiful, lovely wife, Aisha.
Hello.
Here we go again. So I want to check the picture because it looks like we might be cut off a little bit. So, hey, we are always excited to be with you every Tuesday at 8:30. And as you know, as our format is that you guys join us every week and you become part of our family, our community that talks and speaks about the issues related to relationship. And then me and my wife take the opportunity to talk and chop it up and give you what I hope is helpful to you, helpful in your relationships. Look, we do this because we believe that if people really apply themselves and really take these principles that we're given to heart, that it'll make your relationships better. I mean, that's our belief. And so we labor to do that, to give you this. And the beautiful thing is that people come on and you guys come on and give us your love, your thumbs up. I love when you do that, your hearts that you give us as we go through it. And then you take that information and it blesses you and your family and your relationships. So we are here today. Just remember, I always want you to remember that you can always you can get to us through our website, which is www.advice4life.us. Again, that's advice4life.us. And you can always get us there. You also can reach us on our Facebook. Not Facebook, I'm sorry, YouTube. YouTube. Now, the great thing is we're about to switch our YouTube and our actually we're going to do Facebook for kind of probably in tandem. We're going to do Facebook to YouTube, but we're eventually going to switch completely to YouTube. So I want you guys to get on the channel, go on YouTube and follow me, Al Laws Jr., and of course you can be notified when I come on. So sometime in in August, we're going to begin to fade completely to YouTube. And of course, we'll post on Facebook what we're doing, but we really would like you to follow us over to YouTube. Nice. And be able to support us in that way. So we're gonna see how it feels. We're gonna do some new formats. That's when we're gonna really hit heavy our couples coming together, and of course, I'm looking at doing a series on finances. So I'm still trying to decide whether I should just do a separate series on finances and then still keep our couples kind of rolling during that time. So I'm still trying to just figure that out. So again, you can always know what's going on. Follow me on YouTube at Al Laws Jr. Follow me on Facebook at Al Laws Jr. And you can also go on our I said advice for, I'd already said that.
You did.
Advice to life.us. We have plenty of videos and we have podcasts, so you can listen to us on whenever you get a chance. You can view it on video, but if you don't have time, you can listen to it in your car. You can listen to it when you're working out, when you're doing something. You might just be around the house cleaning up, and you can grow in your ability to perfect your relationships. So we appreciate you here every week doing that.
Yes, we do.
So the last couple of weeks, let me tell you this. We're looking to try to have a guest person on. So we're going to try something a little new and different, just because we're not able to pipe it right away through our feed. So we're going to try to get that person on. If it works out, hopefully it'll work out, and you'll be able to, that person is going to come on as our guest. So you can stay tuned for that. We're going to, over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about love languages.
Yes.
And those love languages, that whole series was powerful. If you haven't heard it, you need to go back and listen. You'll get so much from that love language. Like, that is great. And I see my sister Ayo, who just came from vacation, is on there. I gotta give her a shout out right away. It's good to see her. I know she's refreshed and more in love than she's ever been before. So I love that. So in our pursuit of looking at love languages, we were really trying to give you some insight, and we gave you the website so you could go and develop your love language for yourself and your significant others, your children. And it is tremendous. It will help you in a tremendous way be able to really understand and lock into how people want to be loved, and how you can extend to them in a way that really connects to what is meaningful to them as it relates to receiving love. And we talk a lot about giving and receiving love. So we did several shows on love languages, and we may come back to love languages. But since I had a guest and I had something on my heart, I just wanted to kind of, look at that. And so we were talking, and I really want to talk about feelings today. And basically, as you know, those who have followed us and if you listen to the program, I'm teaching you always about awareness. And we call it the awareness wheel, because you have an opportunity to understand how you move through your processes and how you move through communication through the awareness wheel. So in that, we talk about and which we don't mention. I haven't given you a lot on that because it's a little bit deeper, but my wife is probably going to hit on it today. But the first thing is intuition. So intuition is a part of the awareness wheel. And then you go into intentions. And so you're really looking at what a person's intention is, or what your intention is. Intentions really meaning, what are you really trying to do for yourself, or what are you really trying to say? And then we talk about feelings, which we're going to talk about tonight, thoughts, and then we go into your actual actions or behaviors, what you actually produce and do from that. So Greg, you check the picture for me, right? Okay, great, because it's looks different here. So one of the things I think is important as you look at awareness and the awareness wheel is that you can always find yourself at different places, and you may go back and forth in the awareness wheel, but you also can find others in that awareness wheel. And what's so powerful about that tool is that when you master it, you are always aware of your own process as you're going through an experience, or when you're trying to communicate. And you can also be aware of the people that you're communicating with and the people that you're around. So it allows you to see where they are. Right. Now, the important thing, as I'm talking about feelings, and I'm not going to go into all of them today, you can go back and either listen to the previous shows about that. And of course, we always are going to come back and repeat this at another time. But I want to focus on feelings. And when I talk about feelings, I also relate feelings to our thoughts, because what happens is that people always confuse thoughts and feelings. Right. There's always this thing, you can hear how people talk when they say, they're talking about something, they keep talking and they say, you know how I feel, or I feel that. I feel like that. So whenever you're saying you feel like, or you feel that, that's really your thoughts. And usually what happens is that you'll know, because you'll begin to run on, I feel like, and you'll run on with all this information and trying to get somebody to understand what you're calling, quote unquote, your feeling. And so I think it's very important for you to understand how to separate and divide thoughts and feelings, because when you don't, you really don't get to your intention, which is to let somebody know how you feel. Now, I'm talking about this because really my subject is going to be about how we get caught in our feelings. So you have to understand kind of this baseline to really talk about why we get caught in our feelings and how not to get caught in our feelings. So, again, if you say, I feel that, or I feel like, and you have a whole lot of information behind it, you are going into your thoughts. if you're talking about feelings, feelings are you best tap into your feelings. You best do it. Now I always tell people you use one word. Because if you use one word, your mind, your body, your soul, everything about you will begin to pull up what's really inside you, and you will say it, and it will be so clear and succinct. You won't have to put a lot of words and explanation around it. So if you say to someone, I feel guilty, that says so much, rather than, well, I really didn't mean to do it. I feel bad that, and you go on about talking about all these things. Now, feeling bad, that's good. You said one word, I feel bad. But when you say I feel guilty, that's more clear than I feel bad, because bad could mean a lot of things. But when you say I feel guilty, that communicates volumes to someone. So it's so important for you to, when you get to feelings, to say one word, and that will link you into your feelings. Some people say, well, can't you say 2 words? Well, you can say 2 words, but usually what's going to happen is that you're going to go back to your thoughts because you got too many words on your mind. So if you want to perfect and master saying your feelings, tell the person, I feel misunderstood. I feel embarrassed. I feel used. Those statements make more powerful insights to the people that you're communicating with than all the words. So I want my baby to weigh in to that.
Oh, well, I was going to share that. Awareness is so important. And I think what I want to share is that when we were going through the love languages,
right,
it was just a way to become even more self-aware as well.
Sure.
Because I would never been able to articulate to you that my love language was touch and quality time. I know what I like. I wouldn't have identified it as a love language. That's the only way that I feel loved.
Right.
It's
the primary way.
The primary ways,
yes.
Of course.
Yes.
And so it was a self-awareness exercise.
Yes.
Not only was it an exercise to help me understand my loved one, but also a self-awareness exercise. And I think when you're talking about giving that one word for feeling,
right,
even as you speak it, you are revealing it to yourself. It is also a revelation to you. So sometimes that emotion will come forward. The actual feeling that you speak as you speak it pronounces itself and makes you more self-aware.
It makes you self-aware. I love that you are, by speaking that clarity of your feeling, you are making it more clear to yourself.
To yourself.
And it's amazing when you get clear to yourself, because a lot of times when people are trying to give a lot of thoughts about their feelings, they're trying to get clear themselves. You notice the person's talking and talking and talking, and they are still trying to find what it is that they really are, and then they tell a person, "You feel me? You know what you understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?" And the person's like saying, "I hear you talking, but I don't really know," because you don't really know.
A lot of times when someone continuously talks, it's out of pain.
Right.
They don't want further injury to come, so they keep talking so that they can't hear anything else injurious coming toward them. That's why they do that. So when you make a person slow down and pick one word, they have to literally find it in their spirit, in their heart, in their soul. They're looking for it. And when they do that, it's a revelation to them.
It's a revelation. I like what you said about that people will continue to share and talk because there's some pain, because they don't want to experience any more pain connected to the communication process. So they just bogart and they not manipulate, but they take over the conversation and take control because they're not clear about their own feelings. They're not clear about why they are where they are, and they certainly don't want you to give them anything else that would cause them pain. So,
exactly.
So that's a very powerful thing. Now, I'm connecting that because if a person feels pain, and I'm talking about feelings in general, so I'm just going to use pain as an example. But when a person is in their feelings, or they feel something, or something happens that gives them deep feelings, feelings are very interesting because they're a very powerful indicator to make you aware, but they also can easily be distorted. And we talk about in our family strengthening model and here on Advice for Life, we talk about the fact that we are trying to clear our distortions, because sometimes our love is distorted through what we experience. Or a person trying to give us love, their love that they're trying to give us is distorted through their own thoughts and feelings, the things that are unresolved in them. So the powerful thing about feelings is that it helps you become more in tune with where you are. But what happens is that we have not understood feelings properly, and we have given too much credence on feelings. Because what I want to say is that feelings, while very powerful and very important in our lives, because I always tell people, you have to learn how to get to your feeling level. If you don't learn how to get to your feeling level, you will walk around with distortion in your life, and you will manifest that distortion, because what happens with feelings is that they stay and linger for a long time when you have not become aware of your own self and your own process. So now you're carrying around, and feelings have a lot of weight to them. You know, thoughts can flee, and even though you might think something, you can more easily allow a thought to kind of flee past you than feelings. Feelings almost sit, they have a heavy weight that they can sit inside of us. And when they're unresolved, or there's not clear understanding of that feeling and how we got to that feeling and the process that we are experiencing in our awareness, that feeling can cause us to have distorted behavior, distorted thinking, which leads to distorted behavior. And that feeling can actually put us in a place where we are distorted, but because the feeling's so strong in us, we believe we're absolutely right. Like we believe everybody else around us is distorted, because my feeling, I feel this. I know what people say, I know what I feel. Okay, do you? First of all, do you know what you feel? Have you been able to label what your feeling is? And if you have labeled it, have you really understood what that feeling, how you got to that feeling, and what that feeling is doing as you go towards your thinking process and your behavior?
I think that what you're describing is the struggle that we have, we see, we share in the midst of the human race, is that that balance between allowing ourselves to have our feelings, experience our feelings, but also be able to govern ourselves.
Right.
Because we allow our feelings to take control as if they have more precedent than the logical parts of us. Right. Then they have more precedent than the moral part of us. Right. But they don't. They're louder.
They're louder.
They make more noise.
They're very loud.
They make more noise, but they should not be taking us past a place where we govern ourselves. Right. And when we struggle with that, the ability to govern ourselves in the midst, then we are stricken with our feelings.
Right.
Struggle with that. Oh. We're stricken.
I'm sorry. Struggle with that. I said it twice.
So we're stricken.
Right.
That's not a good thing.
Right.
It's not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think that yeah, I like what you said, because I was thinking the same thought, that feelings are very loud. Not always loud, but when they're loud, they're loud, and they go very deep inside of us. So we can justify behaviors and distorted thinking because of how loud and how deep our feelings. Like most thoughts, some thoughts can kind of throw you off. Like, if you see a scary movie that something scares you and you have a thought about it, or let's say that you think that maybe something's going to happen to you, have thoughts about what might happen to somebody in your family. So that creates, that can have a very powerful, usually when you have thoughts around that, let's say you saw a scary movie, then you feel scared. So your thoughts have to latch on to your feelings in order for you to really get that jolt about it. So you think something, you have a feeling of anxiety, right? If somebody does something to you that is perceived by you that is hurtful, then you have you have pain inside your heart. So you feel some type of pain, or you feel disappointed, or you feel betrayed. So all those things occur and happen, and usually your feelings are like that trigger. They trigger you to action almost. It's like most people will respond if you cause them to feel a certain way. And I like this because Maya Angelou, bless her heart, said something very powerful. She says, people don't remember you so much for what you did or for what you said, but how you make them feel. And so and I thought that was very profound for her to say that, because I really believe that. I really believe that when you touch people at the feeling level, it affects them in a greater way. And so that's why when we are in our feelings, when we experience feelings, now let me say this first of all, your feelings are your feelings. So your feelings are not wrong. Your feelings are right because they're your feelings, but your feelings are not always accurate. And your feelings are not always realistically based on all the data and all the experience that's around you. They're personal to you. And you might have a feeling because somebody did something, but it was because somebody else did something. So you have that feeling towards that person, not really because of what they did, it's because of what somebody else did to you before. You can have a feeling about something just because, I always tell people, was it because of what the person did or what they said or how they said it? Mm-hmm. Because a person can tell you the truth. And so you should be at a place where you could say, yeah, that's the truth. I know it's the truth. God spoke that to me this week, and I know you're telling the truth. But guess what? If that person doesn't say it the way you want it to be said, and you get feelings about how they said it, you will discount the very truth that was given to you just because your feelings, you have a feeling about how they said it. So I feel disrespected. But okay, I get that. That's your feeling. But is that higher than the truth that the person gave you? Maybe that truth was really there. God sent that person to save your life. And maybe he didn't want you to deal with respect. He wasn't concerned about the respect in that moment. He wanted you to get the message that he was given to you because he knew that was going to save your life.
Well, it might have been, that he didn't mean for you to feel disrespected, but there's a human vessel.
Right.
So you still have to extract the precious from the worthless.
Right.
You still have to be able to hear no matter what.
Right.
And I think it's real important that we sift through those things to find the treasures, mm-hmm. so that we can govern ourselves accordingly.
Right. Right.
Just because it's not pleasant doesn't mean it's not worthy of processing. Exactly.
I mean, that's my point, is that our feelings will take us into a mode, and people will have actions and they will justify it to the nth degree because of how something made them feel.
Exactly. Well, I mean, we've all seen this in movies, and maybe some of us have had personal experience on that.
Right.
Where a person feels hurt or they feel angry. And most of the time that's because they're hurt. Right. And they respond vehemently and violently. And then the neause day they're like, oh, you made me so mad.
Right. You made me.
You want some breakfast?
Right. Right. Because
it's fleeting.
Right.
it was here. Now it was so you were so enraptured with it because it was so loud, and then you remembered there was a greater feeling.
That
right. Was love.
That's right.
There was one greater.
Yeah, love is greater. Now, this is interesting because what you said in your example. So let's suppose there was socks on the floor, or somebody left dishes in the sink, or you didn't get your dinner like you like, right? So when you really think about it, let's say you got angry. Now your feeling of anger is based on your thoughts about wanting something for yourself. Mm-hmm. And so you get angry about that thing, maybe based on past conversations. Maybe we just talked last week about the fact that please don't leave socks on the floor. Or, you said, I work hard. We agreed that you would cook, and, I like to have dinner when I come home, or at least give me a biscuit and I'll make my own dinner. something. So my point is that you have in your mind, based on your expectation, and so you get that. And so now we're talking about a sock being on the floor, dishes in the sink, a dinner not being in front of you, in the scheme of an entire relationship. And all that's involved in a relationship, in the scheme of love, as my wife pointed out, in the scheme of love, and all the things that you know about love, in the whole scheme of what is important in a relationship, most people are not going to be saying, well, what I want in a relationship is to make sure that somebody brings my dinner.
He would be surprised.
No, that's something that they might want. But if you really ask somebody, that's not going to be, if you say, what do you believe a good relationship is about? They're not going to dinner is not going to come up. If you ask them what you would think is important to you to happen when you're in a relationship, they might bring that up. But if you ask them really at the core of it, what is the real purpose of relationship? They're not going to say the purpose is for that person to make me dinner. They're not going to say that purpose is for that person to pick up their socks after them. That's not what they're going to say. I'm telling you right now. So in the scheme of all that, and you got so angry and explosive, and you're arguing and fussing and fighting and and y'all, battling, and you get done the next day, when you really think about it, when you settle down out of that feeling of anger, your thoughts tell you, that was dumb what you was arguing about. That was dumb. Like,
what is your problem?
That was unnecessary. That was way over the top of what that situation really required. And your mind is telling you, your thoughts are telling you, that, and then this is what happens. Your thoughts are saying, you was really out of control. You need to go and apologize. And of course, you're fighting with your thoughts. I ain't apologizing. They need to apologize. This is the third time that them socks was on the floor. Like, so you justifying in your mind. And then, of course, I always say that, that justification is really, I call that a feeling, even though it may not technically be a feeling, but I think it is, because I think justification runs deep in us, because we use that also to justify our actions. So,
well, if the feeling is I feel prideful, then you're right. Because nobody wants to say I'm sorry when their feelings have taken them off the top.
Right.
If you throwing somebody off the roof because they took the last piece of chicken, you're over the top.
Right. I mean, think about it. You took the last piece of chicken. I told you to save that for me. Now I'm going to go off. So we can justify if a person says something to us that hurts us, that we could, punch them out. We can try to choke them out, something, because what you said was hurtful or disrespectful. I get it. Look, the purpose of identifying with your feelings is for you to become aware of it, and then learn how not to allow it to be distorted in your thoughts and your actions. And so that's the power of the awareness wheel, because what I'm going to say to you is that, what was that person's intentions when they did or said or did whatever? And then I'm going to say, what is your intention? Is your intention really to hurt that person, or to demean that person, or argue with that person? Or is your intention to really deal with the fact that you felt disrespected? So if disrespect is really, or respect is really what your intention is, you're trying to regain some level of respect, then your thoughts will tell you punching a person in the face ain't the way to get it. or howling at the top of your voice is not the way to get it. So you have to line up the understanding of your feelings, your thoughts about that, and your actions. And when you do that, you become a wonderful, skilled communicator. You begin to get your ideas across more clearly. You feel better and centered when you are aware and you don't let your feelings or your thoughts lead you to actions that you know don't represent your character, don't represent who you are as a person.
Right.
That your actions really speak. They say they speak louder than words. Well, that's because your words are coming from your feelings and your thoughts. And usually people speak before they say you speak before you think. And I would say people speak before they really understand their feelings. So you speak before you really feel. And you're responding out of instinct. And so that's not the best.
Out of instinct. I like that. Out of instinct.
Right.
And that's not governing at all.
It's
I
just
mean,
not
you're
governing.
just not governing. Not at all.
Did you have something else to say with that?
No, I just was seeing the people.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring
up.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna bring my people up, and then I'm gonna bring my person that I guess on later. We're gonna do some more about this feeling thing. Hopefully you were blessed. You show me them thumbs up and those hearts to let me know. Remember, yes.
I'm sorry, baby. I wanted to say, Khalid, that's my cousin, and happy birthday, Khalid.
Happy birthday, Khalid. So go to the left-hand corner of your device and hit share, because I say share, it's fair. So if you could hit that and share it out, and that'll push it out to your friends and family, and just let them know you're being blessed by this, and they will be notified and know to come on and join us. Remember, as I told you, it's important for you to follow me on YouTube at Outlaws Jr. and Facebook at Outlaws Jr. And you can get past programs from us through our website, and that's www.advice4life.us, and that's advice4life.us, and all of our previous videos and podcasts, you can get to those. It'll bless you. And as I want to do now is I want to check in. So it was good to see our cousin. I'm glad he had I didn't even know it was his birthday today.
Yeah, his birthday is today.
Yeah, nice. Isn't it your aunt's birthday as well?
And my
Aunt Holda. I remember your mom mentioning that to me, and I didn't realize they had the same birthday. So cousin, happy birthday. And of course, we got some comments, and they're streaming. And that's what we love about this, is that you guys are commenting to each other. You're commenting about what we're talking about, and you provide powerful insights. You provide additional wisdom to add to the conversation, to what we're doing. And someone check in with me, Greg. I keep seeing the video flickering. So if any of you guys are experiencing that, just let us know. It just may be our connection to our monitor. So people are saying, hey, family. I see Stacy coming on, my cousin Stacy Everett. I see Ulysses, who is here in the house with us. I mentioned Io, Tracy Collins, one of our regulars.
Hey, Tracy.
Tracy checked in. And then Tracy said, now that I'm educated about my love language, I'm able to take it a step further, and I'm able to shape others' awareness of my feelings when I thank them for speaking my love language. Hashtag loved. Nice, Tracy. I see Dante jumped in. Hey, Dante. Good, glad you joined us. And Marsha Williams, she said, this is thought-provoking. Good, Marsha. I'm glad that this is provoking your thoughts, but I'm also hoping that it's helping you get in touch with your feelings. Pam Scott, another regular, and she's in, and Dorothy, our regular, and again, Wayne Lucas, who is joining us. And remember, those of you who are out there, if you're listening, we will get the tabulation that you were with us on the program, but we don't know unless you say something. Just say hi, just type in hi, or this is good, I like this. So that will let us know that you have joined us. And we always, it's very encouraging for us to do that. And I see Kentel joined us. That's nice.
Hi.
I see Kentel, and I'm not getting everybody on here. So
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. So Tracy told us the connection is good tonight. That's great. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I'm not getting that, sweetie. So I see some people coming up that it's not showing, but that's okay. We'll come back. We'll come back to you, and I can see some of you on my monitor. So, we wanted to bring our guest caller. We're queuing it up now. We had several people. I have this caller who's been a faithful follower of our program, and just wanted to talk to them about relationship. I think it's always good to hear people's perspective, and give you an opportunity to kind of hear from people. Sometimes when I do interviews, we're doing interviews to help a couple or individual through and step them through their process and understanding the issues around their relationship. So if you want to call in, you can dial 410-578-8004. That's 410-578-8004. You can call anywhere from around the country. You leave us a message and tell us that you might just have a testimony that you want us to present, or a story you want us to present, or you might want to actually join us live.
And if you prefer to be anonymous, that's fine.
That's right. We've a lot of times we've changed people's names so to protect the innocent. Change the names to protect the innocent. So we don't have a problem. Whatever you feel comfortable with. And, you can just call in 410-578-8004, and that will allow you to connect with us and let us know that you're interested in coming on the show. I have another gentleman who wrote it to us who was also a follower, and he was talking. He wants to come on and talk about his experience with his addiction that he had.
Oh, yeah.
and actually his addiction was really from oxycodone, which, he got it from taking it because he had an injury. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like he went out in the street and said, I want to try some heroin or something. And this is becoming common,
yes,
where people are having injuries and they're being prescribed oxycodone, and then they're very embarrassed about the fact that they now are going through an addiction process. And he was in denial about it, and took him a long time to really come to grips about it. And so actually he wants to help us with some of our blogs about it. And if you're listening, my team is going to reach out to you to let you know that. So I think we have our caller, Greg. Are we queued up? Okay. So I got the phone next to me. I'm on speaker. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Okay. How you doing?
It's a blessing. I'm doing okay. How you doing?
I'm good. What's your name?
My first name is Archie. My last name is Campbell.
Okay, Archie. Can you talk a little? I know it's going to be a little difficult. If you could talk a little louder, so I can make sure that you're being picked up. So as loud as you possibly can, that would be helpful. So, hey,
My name is Archie.
okay. I'm checking in with my Facebook family. Can you guys hear
Archie?
Archie? Can you guys hear him? Somebody give me some thumbs up. So let me know if it's hard to hear. So Archie, I appreciate you calling in, brother. Thank you. Just always glad to hear when people have followed our program and have been with us and going through this exploration of talking about relationship and love and talking about the techniques that we bring forth to help people with that. So just talk to me. What made you want to talk to us this evening?
Yeah, I'm just me and my wife. I want me and my wife to get more closer. I think me and my wife I'm very outspoken. I'm very open in anything. In a marriage relationship, you have to be open with your mate. And this is my second marriage. Because my first wife, she passed away with cancer.
Wow.
And this is my second. Yeah, this is my second marriage, and me and my wife been married now over 10 years and some change. And I believe that I love to share. I don't like to hide anything. I don't like to hide no bills. I don't like to hide. I don't like to talk about money in a marriage. And not, I'm very open, and my wife is very like she not really open. She not. If I have $100,000, she have $100,000.
Right.
If she have $100,000, I don't have anything. I don't know nothing about it. Everything is secretive, and I want to know. I never did anything to my wife. I don't even I don't go out of my character. I'm very, very Christian. I'm very a Christian believer. I go to church. I love God. I had him ever since I was 10 years old, and now I'm close to 55. And my wife, she close to 60. This is her second marriage. Her first husband, he passed away. So we have a lot of things in common. The only thing we don't have in common is that communication. I'm a Cancer. My birthday was June 24th. My wife is a Gemini. And I love to see marriage people, when they have a wife, or either have a husband, they stick together like they're supposed to.
Hey, Archie. Archie, hold on for one moment. I'm not sure whether your sound is coming through. I'm getting ready to get another device to help that. Greg, I'm going to get my Beats pill. It's Bluetooth. So you just have to. I'll have to close off my phone so you can do that, and you should be able to discover it. Hold on for a minute, Archie. I'll be right back with you. I'm just checking it with my Facebook family. Can somebody let me know? Could you hear him? See, they need to paraphrase because they didn't do it. So I'm gonna begin to paraphrase as Greg is setting this up, and I'm gonna make sure I close off my. Give me 1 second, folks, so I can come off because I want to make sure you can hear Archie because he's saying some really good stuff. So it's on, Greg. Go ahead and discover it. Go into your Bluetooth on your phone. Yeah, go on your phone in the Bluetooth and do it. So what Archie was saying was. He started presenting the fact that his, this is his second marriage, and his first wife unfortunately died of cancer, and so this is his second marriage, and he believes strongly in marriage, and he really feels like him and his wife have to do some work on getting on the same page. Now, this is interesting because he brought up the subject matter of money, and so he was basically saying if my wife. And I'll probably get him to repeat some of this again, that, he believes that him and his wife should be on the same thing.
Beats pill.
Him and his wife should be on the same page about what, about this whole money issue. And, he's just saying that as a believer that he wants them to be in sync. So, so I'm going to get that. Were you able to connect, Greg? There it is. Should be Archie on there. You guys just wait one moment. So what I love about this is that this allows us to kind of lead into, this is part of what I'm going to cover when we go into this whole thing about our relationship with money, because that is a major situation that can come up in relationships. So Archie is bringing that up. Is Archie back on? Archie, can you speak? Can you speak up? Turn your phone all the way up. Yes, sir. Can you put that on there? Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes.
Okay, great. I think that's better. Hey, family, I don't see nobody moving on here. Can you guys let me know if you can hear this? Make sure our connection is still happening. Hey, guys, I don't see you. Okay, hearts, comments. Okay, Greg, can you put it on the thing? Is that possible? So I don't have to hold it. Okay. 1 second, Archie. We're almost okay. They gotten it. They're getting better. Okay, your phone's already all the way up. Archie, you there?
I'm here. Yes.
Talk louder, please. Greg.
Yes, I'm here.
Greg, that's not. You don't have it all the way up. I can tell you that right now. This thing is loud.
Yeah, it's very loud.
Archie.
Yes.
You can't see.
Here,
no,
give it to
on your
me.
phone. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I really want y'all to hear this. I am so sorry. For what?
Use my mic? Okay.
Why?
Okay, go ahead.
Archie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Will you come around? You don't want it on this?
Yes.
No, that's fine.
Hello, Greg.
Okay, that's good.
We can hear you very well.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Nice. I haven't met you, but seems like I know you, you and your husband, because I listen at you on the radio every day, every Sunday on my way to church, like you all say all the time.
On the way to church. I love it, Archie.
Great. Thank you for that. Thank you for your support.
And, I have a good sense of humor. I don't care what I go through. With the grace of God, I put God in my life. He's number one.
Right.
And I go forward.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
I appreciate that you listen to us, Archie. That means a lot.
Yes.
All the rest of you know that we come on at 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings on iHeart Radio. You can download the app and just choose gospel and then Heaven 600. And we also come on Tuesdays at 12 midnight. So Archie,
Okay.
Can you repeat again what you were trying to talk about what your desire is for you and your relationship with your wife?
Well, me and my wife is I'm the kind of guy that I love to be open. Anything I have, my wife has. I don't care what it is. I don't let money or anything come between marriage or either relationship. I think people have a tendency when you married or either in a relationship with a girlfriend, your fiance, I think you should not hide anything from each other.
Okay.
I think it should be an open relationship or marriage, especially when you're married. Okay,
Right.
When you're married, you and your wife supposed to put everything on the table. You don't supposed to hide anything. Ain't nothing secretive, and that's why I'm married with my wife. We don't communicate. I can communicate with my wife about anything.
Okay.
If I get anything in life, I let my wife know. She get anything, she don't let me know.
Right.
And I want to talk with her about it. She be like, and we old time people. My wife's almost 60. And I'm almost, I'm 55. I just turned 55 June 24th.
Okay.
And my first wife passed away with cancer. And I sacrificed my career to come here with my wife and everything. And I and it seems like I put God in my, because God said you have to leave your mother.
Yes.
To hold on to a wife, to claim to a wife.
Right.
And I love my wife, but my wife kind of pushing me away because I like when you have an open relationship, and when I listen to you all on Sunday before I go to church, I'll be running late because you all start at 9 and go up at 9:30, and my church start at 9.
Okay.
Me and her go to church. Me and her go to church sometime kind of upset, and and I don't believe in Satan, I just said I don't let that comes between me and her. I just want to figure out what's wrong with my wife,
Sure.
I never did anything. I don't drink, smoke, do drugs. I'm a clean cut guy. I'm a fun guy.
Right.
I love if I believe if a man living by himself and he bring a soda in the house, that's his soda because he's staying by himself. He's a bachelor. He's staying by himself.
Right.
But if he with a wife, he bring in a soda. That's me and her soda.
Right.
It's no more my soda. So me and my wife are just on a totally different page, and I'm being honest with you.
Right.
I'm not happy. I'm not. I can't. I used to say I love. Love is very deep.
Sure.
And I sacrificed a lot becoming with my wife. I folded up my career. I did a lot, and I'm not saying anything wrong. Now my wife pays most of all the rent. All the bills, all the rent. Not all the bills, but all the rent till I get back off my feet. But
Right.
she ain't doing nothing. I don't have anything to hide. She ain't doing nothing I never did before.
Right.
So, and I sat back and I'm like, I can see if I was. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to downgrade no one because I'm kind of hurt. I can see if I was an alcoholic, drug addict, drug dealer, I beat you, I hit you, I call you B's and H's. I don't do that. My mother raised me right.
Right.
I don't have no sister, no brothers. I have a large family, and I'm my mother only child.
Right.
And my mother passed away 2010. And when my mother met her, my mother told me, not because she was bad, my mother just said, she's not the one for you, because my mother knew me. It's not that she had anything against my wife. I tell my wife that today, but my mother knew that I'm the kind of person that I'm not going to let you fall. When me and you in the marriage, if I got $300,000, that means your $300,000. If I go out here and I find a bag of money, that's mean your money. If I go out here and a lawyer say this, that's mean you. I don't care if the doctor, anything I do on the dotted line, my wife knows about it.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be with a husband and a wife.
So Archie,
they just don't let don't let nothing come between you all. And that's why I love to listen at your show, because is it Greg? I got to get it right. Him and his wife seem like they just got a connection, just electric, and people should listen at this show, because it'll take you further. Yeah, because I sit in my basement downstairs and I listen at the radio. I listen at all of that. I listen to Heaven 600 like crazy. I listen at Lee Michaels in there every morning.
Right.
When I drive my bus is on Heaven 600.
So Archie, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you can. Okay. I didn't think you could hear me. So I love what you're saying. I just wanted to just pause it for a moment so I can really address what you're saying. So you are speaking and talking about the fact that you love your wife, but you're starting to feel like you guys are not on the same page. And
correct.
And that's making you unhappy. And you actually said you feel hurt.
You did.
You said you feel hurt because you don't believe that your wife's philosophy of sharing and openness is the same as yours. And so
everything with her, I'm going to cut you, I'm sorry. It seems like everything with her is secretive.
Right.
It's not going to work when you in a secretive. Everything is, I can put all my cards on the table about anything.
Right.
You can wake me up 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I needed someone to talk to. I'm glad God let you all, call me up, and
right,
because I can go on and on.
I know you can, and I want to help you to address it. Yeah. And me and my wife are going to try to step you through. So I just want to. So I see that you're looking at your wife's response, and you're looking at her response not lining up with your response about being open,
correct,
especially about and your sense is, and your feeling is. Your sense is that she's being secretive. So I want to ask you, Archie, with your sense of your wife being secretive and not being open, right? And in that way, how does that make you feel? Give me one word. Give me one word. Give me one word to tell me how you feel about that.
Well, I feel like I'm lost.
You feel lost.
I feel like I feel lost. I feel like I'm in this by myself. I really do.
Okay. So your statement when you said I feel like I'm in this by myself, that's your thoughts about what your feeling is. Okay. So you said you feel lost. That's clear. That gives us a clear indication of how you feel. So if you feel like you're in something by yourself, what would be a one word that you would describe that as a feeling?
I feel hurt. Like if I explain it to her and I want to talk with her about some things and want to say, it seems like no communication.
So you feel lonely. You feel abandoned. Yeah. You feel disappointed. So I'm going to label the feelings that from your description about what you gave me. I'm showing you. I'm trying to model to you because it's important for you to learn how to get in touch with your own feeling. I can help you with this because you're describing something to me, and although I may not be exact, but you are saying the words I'm using are describing your feeling. You feel, you feel abandoned. You feel mistrust. You feel mistrustful of her secretiveness. You know, all those things are part of what you feel, and so it's important, Archie, for you to get in touch with your feeling, because your feelings about it. Because you can have a lot of thoughts about it, but until you are able to get in touch with your feelings, it's going to be very hard for you to have that conversation with your wife in a way that doesn't just keep going on and on and on about what she's doing. See, it doesn't take long for you to describe what your wife is doing. And she can be very clear. You can say it as simple as, I feel abandoned. I feel lost. I'm disappointed that you are not open in every part of our relationship and that you're secretive. I mean, you just said that. That would be clear to her what you were experiencing. But what I think you would need to do is to learn how to say what your feelings are. And those feelings are going to communicate much more volume of where you are to her than than you describing what she's doing. Because if you focus on what she's doing, that's not really getting to the heart of where you really are.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I want to share that I think it's important for you to share what is good about your wife. Extract something that is good. Can you do that, Archie? Can you give me 3 things that are good about your wife?
Oh yeah, I can give you. My wife is she's a winner. You know, I'm not saying nothing totally bad about her. She pays things for, like the rent, the beaches. Some things I haven't did. We share. We go out to eat. We buy food for each other. Our thing is she really not a bad person. Only thing is about I know I went and told it off because only thing about my wife, our communication, and she accused me a lot for something. I don't do nothing but come home and go to work, and she knows that, and she accused me for every little thing, and we just not clicking on the same page. But my wife, she 3 things. She take care of most of the bills until I get off my feet, like I don't have anything to hide, and because she knows I'm a good husband, she know I have did that, and grocery shopping, it's no problem. She take care of that. She's a winner with that. She's a winner with holding my back on certain things. It's just that certain things.
She watches your back. She got your back. That's what you're saying. You're saying that she got your back.
Yeah, she got my back on like living expensive, food expensive. The normal procedures, the normal thing that we supposed to have each other back on. Because I have her back on it too as well. Right. But I was just saying about the communication part.
But you got 2. You got 2. Archie, you got 2. You gave us 2. You got 1 more.
Okay.
Good.
What did I say though? Because my mind is so stirred.
Yes, right. So as you're thinking about it, the reason why Aisha did that is because we talk a lot as we talk about skills, is that it's important for you to not focus on where she's missing it, because you will become unhappy when you focus on where she's missing it, as opposed to disciplining yourself to focus on what her good is. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't address the issue that you have. I'm not saying it's not valid. I'm just saying if you sum up your whole happiness and your relationship based on that part, that thing, and you missed the 99. Remember in the scriptures where it talks about how, God could pass over 99 sheep, but he goes for the one that was lost. So what I'm saying is that in this case, your wife probably she got 99 things. You said a lot of things I could say good about my wife, but your speech always goes back to where she's missing it. Now, I want to help you with that. Aisha wants to help you with that, but it's important for you to discipline yourself to focus on what's good.
Absolutely. I think it's important for you to extract the precious. You have got to do that, because if you do not focus your eye there, it's going to be difficult for her to hear you.
Right.
Because you will not be able utilizing the voice properly. You will not be utilizing the voice of God properly, and he's the only one that changes any of us.
That's right.
We don't change for one another. We don't. We change because we know it's the right thing to do before him. So if you're not able to articulate what is good and precious about your wife, it is difficult for her ears to hear you. Difficult. And it would be difficult for any of us the same. So that's why I gave you that exercise, so that you could hear the precious about your wife come from you.
Yep. And so Archie,
you know, I let my wife know she's beautiful. I tell her all the time. I be like,
good.
I open up to my wife. Miss Aisha, I do a lot. But
good.
My wife, she seems like she just closed in, you know. And I be wondering, with the grace of God, that I don't know what her first husband went through. He deceased, he passed, and I said my prayers to him. But sometimes I think that she bringing that into this marriage, and I'm a totally different person.
Right.
And I let my wife know. I open up with her. I tell her good thing. I talk to her. I don't believe in men's disrespecting and calling B. I don't like that. I don't like arguments. I don't do that. And my wife knows me. Over 10 years we've been together. She knows of me, and I'm very humble. I'm a laughing person. I joke. I smile. I will help you any kind of way. I give you the shit off my back. But when I talk with her about whether it be the good, I understand what you're saying. I understand that. When I talk to her about the good things, the bad things, it seems like my wife have a bad problem with my communication and opening up. And I really think that, and I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not, because we're not, and, you know, I ain't trying to throw no subliminals. I ain't trying to do that. I think, and God, like I said, is, you know, God bless her first husband. You know, they was together since they was high school sweetheart, and he was in the service. He passed away, all of that. But I don't know about for me, looking into since I've been with her over 10 years, I think their communication, and she had to be by herself, take care of the kids, raise the children, whatever. And I think it's a lack of communication a lot with her, because communication is the key in a marriage and in a relationship.
Right. So Archie,
you know, if you
Archie, so you're right. Communication is a key, and so that's what we're doing with you. We're trying to help you with the communication process. And of course, if your wife was here, we would be speaking some things to her, because we really can only talk about your process, because you're here with us. So again, I'm not saying what you're saying is not valid. I'm just saying I need you to shift your mindset from just about what your wife is doing. And I want you to recognize that part of you calling, part of why God had you call here, is for you to help you see what you are doing. Because it's very interesting that when we change, our situation changes.
Absolutely.
And so we're kind of at the end of our program, but what I want to do, Archie, is, of course, I want to follow up with you. I actually would like to invite you back.
Yes.
For our show, for part of our show next week. But I want to leave you with an assignment. The assignment is, I want you to come back with 3 additional things that is good about your wife, that's different than what you shared. So I want to give you time to think about it. I want you to give 3 additional things about your wife's character. Character. Not what she does for you or does for the household. I want you to talk about what is good about her character. I want you to think about why you married her and why you have walked with her these 10 years. I need you to give 3 strong things about that. And then the second thing I need you to do, Archie, is I need you to think about your wife's intention. What would make your wife want to be secretive? What is the thing that would cause your wife to not be as open? What, from your experience and listening to your wife, think about what she's trying to do for herself. What is she trying to gain by her being not as open and being more secretive or holding back her finances in a way that is not as open as you would do it. Those are the two assignments I want to give you, okay?
I just want to high five you right now, Al. That was awesome.
That's what we do. Advice for life. That's what we do. So,
it was very awesome. Yes, and you guys, you helped me out because I'm gonna say this right quick before we go. I appreciate you all helping me, and you might be right because I think about instead of me thinking about the positive, I think about the negative things that what I sacrificed. I goes back into it's just not only with her. It's got to be coming from me too because I sacrificed my 20 years. I put on my city job and I froze my pension, my union. I could have stayed where I was at. I bring all of that up sometime when we get into this conversation. Not no heated. It probably be me too. And I'm glad you said that too because. I love to learn. I love to listen and learn, and as you were speaking, as you was talking, it might be reflection on myself because I'm holding things in. Right. By me being that I'm being the only child. I'm not going to put that in because I'm a grown man. I'll let that go. But not because I'm being the only child. It's just that I sacrificed my career, my stuff.
Right. So Archie, what I love what you gave.
I think about things like that, and that's might be my problem. I understand that.
Right. What I love what you just said is the key. You said it's not only her; it has to also be me. Remember, and I'm talking to the audience that it's always that old adage, it takes two to tangle. It takes two to really tangle. Here you go, Greg. And so that's the powerful thing about this process is that you have to get to a place that you don't find yourself and always pointing and finding fault in what the other person is doing as though you are not contributing. It takes two to argue. It takes two to be discontent. It takes two.
Absolutely.
And so what we are doing in this is for us to be more honest about our own process and to be able to be honest with ourselves and see ourselves differently. And again, before we take the log out of somebody else's eye, we take we take the splinter out of somebody else's eye. We take the log out of our own eye. And that's very powerful.
Yes, I love it. I mean, Archie was willing to start. I love it. He was willing to start with himself. So he's already begun the healing, for his marriage.
Right. I'm sorry, Greg. The speaker's still on. Thank you. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. So we're gonna give our comments. I know I'm sure y'all enjoyed it. I thought I would see more hearts and thumbs up about that process, and hopefully you got something from that. I love doing it on the spot live because that we didn't. It's like a rapper who somebody asked them to freestyle. That's when you really can tell whether a person can rap if they can just come off and freestyle. And so that's where I feel the most energized when somebody's giving me something in a real life situation because that's what we do. Like we both feel so comfortable supporting and helping people. So we're going to help Archie both in this process and outside of this process. And you too, if you want to, again, you can call 410-578-8004. That's 410-578-8004. Again, you don't have to give your real name if you don't want to. But if you want help or you just want to make a comment or you want us to talk about a particular subject matter, you can bring that up. You can also go on our website, and that's www.advice4life.us. And you can also follow me on Facebook and on YouTube. Remember, we're going to be switching our medium to YouTube. And you follow Outlaws. You don't want to miss my financial series. But I wanted to get a couple of my people in. I saw Kirk Dixon come in. Wayne said, thanks for reminding me that I say what's on my mind before I think. I really appreciate your advice for life because your wisdom helps me out of trouble. Nice. Nice. Tracy said, I love that so many men join this program. Very nice. And then Tell said, Archie has already started the healing process. Yes, he has. He really has. And Tracy said, I was listening so hard, I forgot to give thumbs up. It was wonderful of Archie to open up.
It was.
And it's always great to watch you two work. And Pam said, yes, it is. And I see Nora. I see you in there, Nora. And any other people that have come through. I don't know whether you all have come through. I see Richard Lacey. Hey, back in the day. That's my people from Pennsylvania. Yeah, I love that you guys are coming on. Thank you for joining. Remember, we are here every Tuesday at 8:30. Now, I'm going to tell you in 2 weeks, we're going to be on vacation. So I've gone back and forth about it, but I think we still may do something while we're on vacation. And you'll get to see some very beautiful scenery if you join us. So you don't want to miss that section the last 2 weeks in July. And remember, you can join us. And remember, we're on iHeartRadio, 9:00 a.m. every Sunday morning. And we're also on Tuesday at 12 midnight.
Yeah.
And you can download the iHeartRadio app, choose Gospel and then Heaven 600. And you can it'll stream to your phone. And you can listen to us. It actually is better than the radio. Also go on our website, www.advice4life.us. And I really want you to go on YouTube, listen to our look at our videos and give us thumbs up, share them. And then what did Galen tell me? You're supposed to share and post and it was YouTube. See, whatever you guys know what to do on YouTube. Just get it out there. Let people know that you're blessed and that you like what we're doing. I see Larry White. Nice to see you, Tiffany. I see you. She said is a financial segment on Tuesday as well. Actually, I just talked about that. I'm still deciding what I'm going to do, but you have to join me, Tiffany, if you want to follow, because not everybody's going to get the full financial piece if they're not followers. So you need to follow me on YouTube, because I'm actually going to do the financial series on YouTube. So follow me on YouTube, Tiffany, and you'll get notified to do it. Hey, we love you. This has been a great experience and time with you, as we do every okay, if you did follow me, Tiffany, you'll get it. Every Tuesday at 8:30. We love you. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for the thumbs up and the hearts. I appreciate your appreciation. Make sure share it's fair. Get it out to your friends. Hit that share button on the corner of your screen while we're still on, and it'll share it out to your friends and family, and they'll know that you've been blessed by this. If you've been blessed, please promote us. Let people know. Repost us. Let people know that you appreciate this program and help be our support. Get other people, allow other people to be blessed and healed through this process. And we look forward to seeing you next week at 8:30 on Advice for Life. Al and Aisha Laws, we love you. Peace. And remember, it's in the socks, y'all. It's in the socks. Telling you it's in the socks.
Nice, honey. Nice.